Oh, that. You know what? I'm just going to hold the mic like this the whole time.
Why?
Because
When you clip it to your beard?
Probably.
I think that'd be cool.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, we're at episode 52, by the way. we have Nikki here on the podcast.
Have we started?
Yeah, we started.
We're rolling?
We're going to hold into shit up here. Where are you turning your back to me? There you go. I wonder how that will sound on the...
You are looking at your chair. It's all cockeyed.
Your chair's cockeyed.
Do you see that? This is what she did. Look, she went like this.
Yes, she did. Turn her back. She did turn her back.
I know.
Yeah, we're not even like 2 minutes into the podcast. We used to work.
I turned my chair
That's crooked.
toward... Yeah.
Want to fix it?
We need to fix it.
Why? No, you know what? We're not going to stop recording.
No, this is part of the podcast.
Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 52 of the Legends and Dragons podcast here in Hurst, Texas, the Legends Chair. I am Jimmy Klaus. That's Chance Burleson trying to fix it. We got Nikki Mills. Fan favorites.
Do you need help? That's worse.
Is it?
Not the other way.
No, that's straight.
There you go.
Is that good?
That's better.
Sorry. Someone with me. See, I got this on my feet. I wonder how it will sound now. Like, all they say is just...
It would all...
Like this.
You know what it'll sound like? It'll sound like phone conversations with Nikki.
Is that...
You know what she does? I wanted that like that.
Okay.
She talks to me on the phone.
We're such a...
While she's wrapping presents.
While she's wrapping presents.
Is that what she gets in a wind tunnel and then calls me? And while she's in a wind tunnel, she will eat cereal. And then she'll call me.
I know better than to eat on the phone with you. You called me last night while I was eating, and I kindly said, I'll call you back after I'm eating.
Does that bother you? I hate it. What?
Oh my gosh!
He doesn't like it when other people eat.
No,
He wants people to
So
start.
little microscope into the brain that is Chance Burleson. I have a neurological disorder.
You don't like cilantro.
Jimmy, quit picking at that. It's going to get infected. You got to get impetigo.
Impetigo. So, like, at a
So there's yes. So there is a condition. It's like a kind of a disorder, and it's called misophonia.
Misophonia.
Have you ever heard of that?
I love.
And it means cilantro tastes like soap.
I think that quite the second. No, that Nikki is wrong.
So misophonia is a hypersensitivity to sounds. So like if for instance, like that, stop it. Stop it.
All
right.
It's just
So like if we're in a room
okay.
and there is a focus, like somebody speaking, or there's a karate class going on, or you're at church or whatever. Like if there was a pastor giving a sermon and somebody was in one of the pews crinkling the Doritos packaging, making
Always
noise,
Doritos, too.
you know that's rude.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you were in church and somebody was making noise distracting.
Yeah.
Okay. I have that same thing no matter what's going on. It doesn't have to, it's anything where there is one focal point of an instructor talking or a conversation. Like if you and I were having a conversation and somebody was doing it over there,
Yeah.
I would be enraged. Wow. I've always been like this.
Nikki, have you? What?
He's enraged a lot.
You know, Mary just told me that today. She said I'm angry a lot. Yeah. I'm not angry a lot. What I got angry for? I'm angry. I was like, why does go? Maybe I am angry. Yeah. Is it disrupt? I'm like this. Maybe.
See,
you know,
it's fine.
it might sound better, honestly. The closest to my.
It's fine.
Because you guys are loud. And
That's right. You're very mousy.
a lot of
The way
ways.
you say you're very mousy.
Oh, speaking of mousy, and I know that off the camera last week after we had the blot on the, see, I'd say blot because you guys don't like the way I said
Bloss.
his name. Blaz. No, it's Bloss.
Can you say snake?
Snake.
Can you say
Snakes.
Snickers bar?
Snickers bar.
Can you say snakes?
What?
Snakes.
Snakes.
Yeah.
Bloss.
Bloss.
Blaz.
No. Blah.
You're doing it on purpose.
I'm not doing it on purpose. It's
I'm
blonde.
doing it on purpose.
Be more Pacific. I like it. Anyway, Miriam told me today that I said my name wrong. Or not wrong, just having different.
I would say that if you are entitled to say anything wrong, it's your own name.
Have you ever wanted to tell somebody that their name is spelled wrong?
Ooh, like
I do.
Journey, like Journey name.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, that's one. Or say your name is spelled wrong.
Ask her how she spells Nicole.
How do you spell Nicole?
It's none of your business.
I do. I do. Nikki.
It's Nichole.
Nicole. Yeah, so strong.
I didn't make it up. My
Nope.
mom talked to my mom.
You were involved.
You were involved.
You were there.
I wasn't alive yet.
Yeah,
Life begins in conception.
Unite. Ooh, here we go. There you go. Let's dance.
Ask my mom why she put the H in there. I should have her on the
I'm going to put that on a list of questions. Oh,
She's going to be here in May.
Yeah.
The end of May. We should have her on the
We
podcast.
should have her on the podcast.
Let's do it.
Where's she at?
She lives in New Braunfels.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so,
She's going to be here.
I'm on with the podcast. She doesn't come. You guys have London traveled out there. We're gonna have your daughter on the podcast.
yeah, when she lives back, I told you that she just took a
Say
job.
yeah.
She took a job at,
No, you did not tell me this. Oh,
no.
you haven't put it in.
Well, so she graduates from nursing school next month.
Okay.
And she took a job at Harris, downtown Fort Worth.
Ooh.
That's the plan. She'll be,
All right.
yeah.
So is she going to be like a Nikki, like a revolving guest on the?
Yeah. How
Well,
so?
let me tell you something about my daughter.
She doesn't like me.
No.
She doesn't even know
She's
me.
not going to.
Oh, she My daughter is an amazing human being, and she will do whatever she wants to do.
Oh,
Yeah. So if she wants to,
Yeah.
she would.
can I just do a broad brush here? Everyone to say that's all women.
No.
All women will do what they want.
I would say
That's
that all people will do what they want to do.
Yeah, people.
I would say that when men don't do what they want to do, it's because psychologically they're having kind of a mental transaction in their brain of, I'm not going to do what I want to do, but I'm hoping to get this from it. So they're still, also so they can call themselves a really good guy.
They're martyrs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you've been friend with the martyr?
Have you ever been raised by one?
Ooh.
This podcast just got real deep, didn't it?
It's not my mom.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, people who like, you're like, hey, you don't have to be a martyr about everything. You
Yeah.
have to have that attention on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a wood thing. You guys are.
Somebody told me one time, get down off the cross, we need the wood.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea what you guys want to talk about. The guys, I came ill prepared today.
Well, we always have the New York Times crossword puzzle on my phone if we get bored
Yeah.
or if we run out of stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Y'all can tell me.
Look at her screensaver.
Be dogs.
Dude, your post though about your dog kind of made me laugh too. And then the one about, I think you said with the cat, like don't feed the cat or whatever, like don't fall for the cat's trick. It's already been fed.
Oh, yeah, I
You
guess.
said that about your dog.
That was a meme.
Oh,
But yeah, that was a good one.
do you generate memes? Like do you create them?
Rarely.
I do. I like her. Hey, what's up with the post-it, by the way? I noticed I saw like silver and bronze.
So
What was that?
our silver and bronze stripes are our character stripes.
Did you guys just start that?
No,
Oh.
we started it a long time ago, but we've been putting them on the windows using those suction cup hooks.
Okay.
And I don't know, fun fact, those don't ever work ever.
Oh, the suction.
They come down.
Suction cups are great if you want to have a heart attack at 2 a.m. in the morning because something just falls off the wall.
Yeah. So Nikki had a great idea, which I would say that she has a high percentage of very good ideas. And that I capitalize on. And she's like, let's just put them on the wood wall with thumbtacks. Staying just fine.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and they're right in front of everybody's eyes. So we put them up. Now
So what's the difference between? I mean, I know.
the design of the posters is me.
Okay, that was pretty silent. Like silver surfer.
Silver surfer, and the bronze is like a bronze statue, so like a Greek statue.
So what's the difference between? I mean, I know what.
So bronze stripes are an understanding of our life skill. Like right now, our life skill is service.
Is it you guys have monthly?
For each cycle.
Okay,
For each belt cycle, like for every 10 weeks, we have a focus life skill. Like it's discipline or service or whatever. So that. And so they have questions of kind of comprehension, like what's your understanding of our life skill, age-based questions.
Yeah.
And then the silver stripe is their behavior outside of the dojo. So if they're, looting and plundering and pillaging, they don't get a silver stripe, they don't test. So they have to be behaving admirably outside of the school to get the silver stripe. And they need those every single time they test.
So who comes up with is that like the brain trust here, the leadership? Nikki? Chris, you come up with it?
I used to do it.
Okay.
And I do a good job at it.
Yeah.
But it was really cool when she's like, you want me to start doing this? And honestly, because that's not in my 5% of things that only chance can do.
Right.
And that's one of the assets of having a program director.
Yeah.
Is somebody to kind of like take the pressure so that I can focus on the stuff that I can do. Right.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, since she took over the kind of, the organization of the mat chats, because each week has a different kind of mat chat on that life skill.
Okay.
Right. Since she's taken it over, it is so much more streamlined and organized. It's way better.
So how did you come up with it? Like, how did you come up with the mat chats?
It's just like talking points, really.
Yeah.
Like
you a Google search, you get something email monthly and go, oh, like talk about this.
Well, no, her idea was service.
Yeah.
And then she started thinking about what are all the aspects of service.
Yeah. Like serving your community.
Right.
How does service help you? How does service help others? And then we talk about each one of those for like a week in class.
Yep.
Okay.
And then instructors kind of they roll with it.
Okay.
So
you just give them your subject.
We give them talking points and they flesh out the mat chat.
Yeah.
So, I like the way you guys, I mean, really, I wish, and I know we've talked about this before, I wish some of our other friends out there in the martial arts community would kind of take a look at how you guys are doing. It's like that you guys steal from, I say steal, you guys steal from other schools.
Right. We are influenced greatly by other people that's smarter and better than us.
Right. And I wish that others would see.
We've talked about this a lot of times. The thing that is confusing to me as martial arts instructors and owners is if you were to ask them, were you capable through tutorial videos and book reading, were you capable of teaching yourself karate?
No.
Like, did you or did you not need someone way better than you to in-person physically instruct you?
Right.
Okay? But then the assumption that because you know martial arts, that you should intuitively know how to run a martial arts academy.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole other set of skills beyond fighting involved in running a martial arts business without totally selling your soul and being a McDojo. You know what I mean? Yeah. It is possible to make a decent living teaching martial arts. It is way easier to do that if you don't actually teach martial arts. If you just pretend to teach martial arts and don't actually instill skills and really do a good job, right? It's hard to make a living doing it the right way. Generally, most people choose between these two things. Mm-hmm. They either choose between selling out the martial arts or keeping the integrity of the martial arts and getting another job to pay the bills.
Yeah, that is true.
That's what most people do.
Yeah.
So they're either running a great program and then they have to work another job to pay their bills, or they run a snake oil program and they make a ton of money.
Yeah.
It is possible to do both, but not accidentally. Not just like, well, I'll just do this. You know what I mean?
And you guys learn. I mean, you guys take courses too, which is
we're constantly doing
which is I love
education.
About both of you guys. You
Yeah.
guys need to do education. How do you get new students in it? Because you guys do the social media stuff. I've seen the social media stuff. Do you guys do school fairs or school? You know what I'm saying? I think
we've been doing some school stuff. We have a school thing
talk on
Monday. We're going to my son's school actually, which will be cool.
Okay.
It's just a 10-minute talk, and really like what we're trying to shift into with the schools is really more than anything just having the motive and the desire to just go in there and serve and just give them whatever it is they need without worrying about trying to get more students. And we believe that if that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to just serve, that like the students will come.
Yeah. I think that's a good method if you and also for the social media scene, the classes just grow. Oh my God, you got to ignore that. Is it important though?
No. I should have answered it.
You should have answered it.
Rob was a robot.
Ooh, if somebody calls again, Robert. Yeah, if somebody calls again, answer it on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
This doesn't go wheels off the lot.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. I want to say something really cool.
Serving instead of at. You know, my dad made me read a bunch of those like how to get rich books when I was a kid. Not the recent ones, but like the old ones, like Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
Like How to Win Friends and Influence People, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon. So like the Carnegie, but like the things that have been around for 100 years.
I was really young back then, so
100 years ago. What you don't say.
I couldn't read it.
Barely a font. But one of the things that they had in common is all of these moguls, all these financial like powerhouses, all swore that their main focus was helping other people make money.
Yeah.
Like if they just focused on helping other people, they, through helping other people, made a lot.
That's not a bad strategy.
I know. Well, and the thing is, if it doesn't work, then you've helped a lot of people.
Well, think about like this, right? So I'm helping talent in this mindset, and it's through the years. Like if Nikki and I were playing, say, basketball again, because she's playing basketball. Like, why would I not want to teach Nikki and get her better? Because now I have somebody, to practice, to make better, to bring up, right? So there's plenty of room at the top. Bring them all up, you know. And I think there's something to be said about that method.
Well, it's like you go back and talk about with competition, right? And I talked about missing the mark on competition, right? If your goal is a gold medal, then if you walk in and all of your competition is garbage, then you're going to win. And you get to feel so good because you're such a winner with your gold medal. But did you benefit in any way walking all over the competition?
Right.
In other words, why are you doing it? Are you doing it for the win? Or are you doing it for the skill that trying to get the medal will deliver to you?
Journey threw me under the bus on our group. Good. Jiu-jitsu group chat. So she competed in the first jiu-jitsu tournament in some month in April. So just a few weeks ago. I couldn't make it. And so June is the next tournament. And I'm not, and I told Greg, and I told Philip, I'm like, man, I don't want to think, only because I for like, a week plus, like, I mean, it hurts. I'm like, even doing just jiu-jitsu hurts me, but that competition kind of hurts me. And I'm like, man, well, Greg was like, all right, who's signed up or who's gonna compete in June? And Jeremy goes, my dad and I are. I'm like, go up there. And so I was like, thanks, baby. And I hadn't told her yet that she threw me under the bus. Yeah, with that. So
you can say no.
I could say no, but you and I both know that I'm probably not going to say no.
No, I know you're probably not.
And I am going to compete only because I think it's good for Journey to see. Like, hey, we're going through it together. Like, we're going through the training together, get ready for competition.
That's a very good point, but at some point, I also encourage you to consider that physically it doesn't cost her to compete what it costs you to compete.
Yeah.
Like just rolling, I pay for.
Hey, and by the way, speaking of that, I'm proud of you, man. What for Nikki? He did the entire, was it 2 Sundays ago?
Yeah, he told me.
The entire hour.
Yeah.
No stop.
7-minute rounds, 8 and 7-minute rounds.
It said was the 30 second.
And the great thing about that, Jimmy, is that you and me and I guess Jet, like everybody I grappled with was my level or way better.
Yeah.
Like Alfred, Philip, Niles, and Steven all smashed me.
Yeah.
And we both know that grappling somebody you're better than doesn't take as much stamina.
Right.
So I more than half the people, I wasn't able to rest on.
Yeah.
And I still managed. I felt really good about that.
Yeah.
It felt like a really big win for me.
Yeah, it was. When are you going to get, when do you do a Cup Sunday and wrestle around with us?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Nikki's real focused on Muay Thai. Let's talk about your Muay Thai, because she's really dug in deep with Muay Thai with Bloss.
Okay. Yeah. How's that going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
Kicking and punching and,
We know what Muay Thai is.
what do you want me to say about it?
Yeah. Well,
Have you committed to doing a competition?
I did. I committed. I actually purchased my entry fee for a smoker in August. It's like it's contact, but it's like contact. It's not like
It's like a point Muay Thai type of thing.
yeah, this is point fighting.
Well, no, but it's point Muay Thai.
Yeah, it's
I didn't even know.
And whether you're not going for knockouts, you know what I mean?
yeah. There's no knockouts. There's no elbows. There's no knees.
Yeah.
But
They're judges like
Yeah, they'll stop the contact if it gets too hard.
yeah,
Okay.
and it's like it's really just for learning purposes. Like it's just really geared to like making people better, and then it's kind of like a precursor to like amateur fighting. Like it's bottom level, like very much,
Is there a belt structure in Muay Thai? I've never even thought about that. I didn't even think that.
Your belts are your knockouts.
I guess. Yeah.
Your fights.
Yeah.
Like how good you are of a fighter, that's your belt.
Yeah. Weren't you doing something else? Weren't you doing other martial arts as well?
we were doing Kyokushin.
Yeah. What's that? We're not doing Kyokushin.
No, we
Just time and just not being able to get to it? Or?
sounded good.
It did something.
It sounded good, but it was a bit of an overstretching and overcommitment.
Yeah, it was a little much.
There was the amount. Wow, just
here and now for you, you were doing Muay Thai as well.
He was doing.
Well, I am too. I do it right after her.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I've got to run a school.
Yeah.
I have my service life, my service-centered life that I do outside of this place.
Yeah.
And that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
What I do for helping men outside of this, right? It has a time requirement, right? Running the school, what do we work? 60, 70 hours a week sometimes? Yeah. And so on top of that, I do boxing
with Wheeler.
right. Jiu-jitsu with Phil,
Yeah.
Kali with Tom,
Yeah.
Muay Thai with Bloss,
Yeah.
and I do that every week.
Yeah.
In addition to everything else.
Yeah.
And a gym.
And the thing is that
in the gym.
we work out for an hour and a half straight, Monday through Friday, before anything else starts.
What do you mean? Like both?
And we left the gym we worked out from 10 to 11:30 and came straight here.
Okay. Why an hour and a half? Hey, what do you guys do it for an hour and a half?
30 minutes of running.
Yeah.
Okay, so you run. Okay.
And then an hour of strength training.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and there's actually, it's a 2-hour workout because we didn't get to do it. We'll do it after the podcast. We stretch. We do a very intense, every position we hold for 1 minute.
Yeah.
And we do that every single day.
Yeah, because I tagged along with you guys when I was for the black belt for the stretching part.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. You ought to come do our workout with us sometime.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Dude, I am loving this new schedule. So we used to record on Thursdays from what time? 10:30, I think.
Yeah.
And so this is a new time that you've chosen.
I'm more awake.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I like it. I mean, I just sleep a little.
And you don't have to, like, you're not cramming and
You know, I must admit, like right now, I mean, I have work here in 2 hours, but I'm not rushing off to work. Like, we usually get there. So, air traffic. Oh, somebody asked me about air traffic control. Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's do it.
Can I go get my sweater?
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Sorry, sir. This is your podcast, I guess. What do you want?
Y'all are going to talk about air traffic control. I'll be right back.
You don't want to listen?
No, I am. I can hear you. See? I was just calling right here.
So I was asked how intense air traffic control is. Now, for me, I'm kind of a different animal in the air traffic world because I wanted to do air traffic when I was 12 years old. Like I knew at 12 years old I wanted to be an air traffic controller. But I didn't know how to get into air traffic. And so with the Air Force, I got into air traffic. Well, the program itself is there's a lot of memorization, a lot of phraseology, a lot of memorizing frequencies, like all sorts of, speeds, math, all sorts of that. So for FAA, it takes about 3 years. Like if Nikki got hired on, it would take her about 3 years before she was certified, where she can just work on that like by herself, like fully certified. And so with that structure, of course, Reagan fired all the controllers back in the 80s. So were you born in the 80s?
Barely.
You're serious?
85. I'm so young.
Anyway, so after Reagan fired all the controllers, this is going to sound weird, but our government doesn't know how to math. Is that shocking? Does that shock you? They don't know how to math. And
We do have this thing called a deficit. You not notice.
Yeah, we're in a hole.
They talk a lot about that.
So yeah, a little bit. So I have to retire, mandatory retirement at age 56. Okay, so 56 apparently, 56 in 1 month. Apparently, I'm done. Hey,
Wow.
yeah. So age 56 is now I can retire. I'm eligible at age 50, which I plan to go when I'm 50. So when Reagan fired all these controllers, they didn't really plan on all these people were going to turn 56 one day to retire. And then there's always been like a catch up. There's been in a deficit, if you will, like thousands of controllers. Like we're supposed to have, I think, 14,000 air traffic controllers across the country. I think we're at 11,000.
That doesn't seem good.
Well, yeah, it's still one of the same thing, but by the way, I didn't.
Yeah.
6 ways to traffic. Of course, I probably have to say that because they're probably listening today.
Yeah.
So I hate flying.
I know you do.
Well, you hate flying, but for very different reasons.
Because you don't like people.
I don't like being mushed in with people.
You know what?
I like flying.
Yeah, the thing is, it's the entire. It's like it's the DMV but with planes. So you go in, you wait in line, and then you get out of that line and you go wait in another line, and then you get out of that line and you go wait in other lines, and then if you want to get some sort of sundries from the airport, you also have to wait in more lines, and then you get on a plane, and then once you're on the plane, you have to wait in line, and then after you wait in line, you get mushed in like lemmings into shiny metal boxes. And I don't like that. Like, I don't like being mushed in with people at all.
Just pretend you're grappling next time.
I wasn't done with my story.
Well,
And
cool.
so,
Kind of
and then after, but no, listen, I have the conch. And then after the plane lands, you get up and you wait in another line.
Yeah.
And then you get out of that and then you wait in another line.
But then you're on vacation.
Yeah.
Which you need to recuperate from the absolute anxiety attack of all of those lines.
Oh.
How about when we were coming back from Mexico and we had a bad sickness?
Well, when we were coming back from Mexico, Nikki, you know what? You
We
started
had
this story.
Montezuma's revenge.
We had yes, and so we spent the last day of our vacation in
2 days
Mexico,
for me.
in the bathroom We were just
Luckily, we had
really
two bathrooms.
excited.
Did you drink the water?
Yeah, well, I don't know what
I
happened.
brushed my teeth with the water, and I had salad, which they probably washed the lettuce with the water, and I had ice in my drinks,
Yeah.
which is probably
So we got it, and
So-
we were just texting each other to the bathroom. Yeah, it was real bad.
Just miserable, huh?
We were afraid we had COVID because this is in what,
This was-
2020?
Yeah.
So it's in the middle of
Well,
COVID.
and we had to pretend like we weren't sick. Otherwise,
Otherwise, wouldn't have let us fly.
Yeah, golly.
Yes. So we're like, I feel fine. I feel fine. Yeah, we're like taking like Mexican ivermectin. Yeah, it was so bad. It was so bad. We did take it.
Yeah,
We did. I still have some in my
I had
bathroom.
it until like pretty recently.
Yeah,
I threw
That's
it away.
awesome.
Yeah.
We literally did not have COVID, but had to pretend we weren't sick because people would mistake us for having COVID.
It was awful. We were like sitting on the beach. It was like this nice, like
Oh, dude, it was
cool
this
place.
cool
I got
vibe.
sick first.
She got sick first, and I'm like on the bench, and there's this like, bitch, I'm on the
feeling
beach,
great.
and I'm having, and there's like cool house music playing. It's this real kind of like bohemian vibe, you know what I mean? It's really cool. And she's just like, I have a video. I have a video of took my phone, and she's just like looking at her phone. She's like, oh, just that. And you do this.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
It was awful.
Well, if you're 30, if you're younger than 31, become an air traffic controller. You'll enjoy the.
Wait. Retire at 50, which you're like, what is that, next week? Like, how old are you?
No, I'll be 46 this year, so about 4 years.
And then is that like full retirement? Like you get paid to not go to work retirement?
Yeah.
Dang.
Are you serious?
I make it annuity.
That is insane.
Like, this is what I love about working for the government, though. It's like they constantly come after our retirement, our benefits, our health benefits.
Yeah.
So not only is
Well, the rest of us don't have any. So.
I know. So I know. I'm like, this is me just kind of right. But here's the thing, though, about it, right? So let's say if I didn't have it, okay, that's cool. But let's say you have it, and now you're asked to work air traffic. You know, sometimes it get a little stressful at times.
Yeah.
And now we have to worry about all this stuff that they're like, oh, I'm going to take this.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this. They're like, good, thanks for this.
Well,
thanks for the stress of it all.
And
I
so
appreciate it.
this is an interesting thing that you're bringing up, because most people could not live the life that I live financially.
Yeah.
They just couldn't handle it. The uncertainty would send them into daily therapy 6 times a day.
Yeah.
Because I have spent the last 30 years, most of that time, not knowing whether I was going to be able to pay my electric bill. Now, there are some times I made plenty of money.
Right.
And then there are other times I was just like, I'm scraping change to get groceries at Albertsons. And I've just done that long enough to know. And I've got a lot of, these days, I've got a lot of faith in God.
Yeah.
Because what I've learned is that if I just keep doing my job and trying really hard and serving other people, things work out.
Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday, actually, because like there's some stuff coming up. There's some like extra expenses that I have, and you know, and then after that, there's more expenses that are coming, and I'm like, you know what? It's always been fine. Like, it's gonna still be fine. Like, and you know, I'm probably like very privileged to be able to say that.
Right.
Well, it's not fine for everybody, but like I do believe that, like, you know, I just have to trust my higher power, and you know, everything's gonna work out. Like, even if I lose everything,
Right.
like
It's still going to be
still gonna
fine.
be okay.
My point is that people couldn't do what I do because of the uncertainty.
Yeah.
And my dad has made it very clear to me that certainty that you're so certain of is not that certain.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you have this guaranteed cushy government job, and it's all been promised that this is going to happen and this is going to be the deal. But you know as well as anybody, like, what is promised is not always delivered.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think other people's like certainty and security is imagined.
Yeah, I hate to say that I don't care because that just kind of poo-poos away everybody I work with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I, yeah, people, they get so worked up about who's in the White House, who's in, I'm like, listen, if you get your own house in order, it doesn't really matter who's in the White House.
Yes.
Get your own house in order.
Yeah.
Like if you're so stressed about, let's say, finances in the future, why don't you just say, no, you should say so.
Yeah.
So, in fact,
You should do that no matter who's in the White House.
100%. In fact, your son and I were just talking about this.
Really?
About budgeting and what the sacrifice of budgeting. Yeah, you have to tell yourself no now because of what's coming on the horizon. So that's why I tell people all the time. Yeah, it doesn't matter what's in the White House. Get your own house.
I really want to post both of these things, and I can't. I can't.
And let's talk about that.
But I can say it on the pod.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
This is my press conference.
Okay, go ahead. Press conference. Here we go.
It's not going to be. You will agree, though. All right. The first thing is I really want to post this. Gosh, I sure wish I knew where more of you stood politically. But I know what that would open me up for. Because I so don't care.
Yeah.
The things that I see, they're just constantly, like, just, and it's all 100% left or right.
Yeah.
And this vitriol and hatred and all this kind of stuff. And it's the same 10 friends
Yeah.
that are just kind of, and it's ridiculous. Now, I have a somewhat less vile thing.
Okay.
I can't tell you how much I hate the number of forwards that I get in my Facebook Messenger. And the thing is, it's also from the same 5 people sending me 15 things a day. And I have this social responsibility to give some sort of emoji react to it. And I don't care. I don't care. But I can't post about that on Facebook because they'll all see that.
I posted one time that I'm not watching any YouTube videos that anyone sends me.
I don't watch any of it.
I don't really watch anything.
But the thing is, I know that I send y'all stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's gold.
Yeah, oh, you're 100%. Yeah.
You better be watching what I say.
I never watch anything you send.
So you give a thumbs up?
Yes, you do.
So you give a thumbs up like it's like a 3-minute video?
No, because that's a
30 seconds.
We all know that a thumbs up is this.
Yeah.
We all know that a thumbs up is.
You do understand they have the middle finger emoji.
Yeah, no.
And I don't give a thumbs up unless I hate the person.
And here's the thing: you also don't ever respond to me.
Thumbs up me
and text. You didn't know.
Now I do know.
The number of middle fingers you've been getting from people. You were happy or not knowing.
I was happy that day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's miserable.
K.
Okay.
Okay. We say K.
You know what? Put the O in.
Why does that bother you?
It really bothers me.
Okay.
Because I have said K exclusively when I was mad at the person I was talking to.
That's like when you say sure.
Yeah, sure, fine.
Sure means go take yourself somewhere and do something with yourself.
Oh, wow.
You're not being very
That's
specific.
what it means when you say sure.
She thought my smiley face meant that.
Because it's just the 2 dots and then the parentheses.
It's just the colon and the parentheses. I think that's great.
What? No.
It's like my balloon for fun. When I say I'm fun, and then I'll send a balloon.
So I didn't know that I do this, but Journey has called me out on this, like where she'll send like this long heart, on our group text, and I'll either give a thumbs up or a okay, like that. And I thought that was completely fine, but then she sends me funny reels like, Dad on the group text, hey, Aunt so and so died. I fucking love it. Okay. Oh my God, it's so funny. That is good. Oh man, Nikki, how have you been though?
I've been good.
Yeah, I just want you to know though, because I saw you. Speaking of social media, So it was maybe a month ago. I don't get my time frame. I want you to know I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
Because you posted something about, it was your clean anniversary.
Yep.
Let's say
yeah.
clean anniversary. Yeah. Is that did I just make something up there?
Yeah, but it's great.
Clean anniversary.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I wanted you to know how proud I am of you.
Thank you.
Because that's amazing. Was it
5.
5 years?
I got 5 years on February 9th, and then on February 14th, I turned 40.
Oh,
Yeah.
look how far you.
That's a big month, February.
Yes, February it was.
Yeah.
You've come a long way.
Yeah.
Like when you think, wait, you're
Very long
an
way.
inspiration to. I was going to tell you that too. You're an inspiration to people. Well, so are you.
And
Well, but the great thing about Nikki is, like when I met you, I would say that you were not knocking it out of the park as far as self-care goes. Right? And it's real easy to look at her now and think that woman's really got it going on. She's got stuff together.
Can we look at
You know what I mean?
right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's not impressive for someone who's already had that.
Right.
Who just came out of the box that way. Like, you know what? I'm 10. I'm going to develop discipline and good habits.
The kids that are doing skincare at 10,
Right.
they've got it together.
But it's the reason that what we do outside of here in the program, there's the reason it works is because the person helping you has your problem.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know from you how I should stay clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have my problem. What are you going to do to help me?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
That's like, you know what? All the advice I'm going to give you on air traffic control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the reason that Nikki's so inspirational is because, she went from homeless. She wasn't homeless, but like she went from homeless to getting a job, to getting a place to live, to getting financially stable. Like she knows what it's like to come from a bad place and get to a good place. And a person like that is priceless to the people who need help.
Well, and like most people that I know now, other than like my family and a few people that I'm still friends with, that I've been friends with for, 25, 30 years. But most of the people, like I was talking to Bloss the other day and he had no idea that I was in recovery. And he's like, I just can't picture you doing any of that. And I'm like, man, if you guys would have known me 6, 7, 8 years ago, if you would have met me, like it would have been a completely different story, I guess.
Nikki was
just wild.
Nikki was a bag of cats.
Well, listen, I did meet you that long ago, right? I didn't know all the stuff.
Right.
But from the Nikki that I met.
Right. You've seen the last 5 years.
I've seen the change.
yeah,
right?
5 years. Yeah.
Right. I've seen the change.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the backstory.
Yeah.
Nikki until probably this year, probably the first.
But even like when you met me, I was better than I was some years before that.
Right.
You know, like
your story's pretty stunning though, because even though you said you weren't homeless, you were. I mean,
I wasn't homeless because I knew who to use to
Right.
get home.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? I knew
who I needed to manipulate, what I needed to say and do to get people to do what I needed them to do so that I could get what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is, I'm sorry, this is a very...
there's something to be said about that.
Well, this is an unpleasant thing for me to say.
Okay.
But that is a more common job description than I wish it was.
What?
In other words, I'm only not homeless because of how good I am at coupling up.
Right. Yeah.
Manipulation. I mean, you could.
Well, and I'm not just throwing women under the bus.
No, I know. Well,
there's plenty of couch surfing dudes that have their, you know what I mean?
Yes, I know those.
So, there's a concept that we go by called the we should be entirely self-supporting.
Yeah.
Right? Declining any sort of assistance from the outside. Now, the thing is, there have been plenty of times in my life where that assistance is why I didn't end up in a homeless shelter.
Right.
But I came back. I made up for that. I repaid that assistance. And now I'm somebody who has given that assistance to other people.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that we don't ever need help.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that living a life where you exist because of the benevolence of other people.
And it's one thing if you're getting help and you're actually like trying to get better and abstaining from the
Right.
things that are
forcing you to
harming
need the
you.
help. Right.
But it's another thing to be receiving help from people with zero intention of changing anything at all.
Right.
And it wasn't just a matter of, being in relationship after relationship and moving in, which I always did. But it was also a matter of exhausting my family, resources and anybody that was willing to help me, which was really, they wanted to help me, but really that's harmful, that we're enabling people to continue on the path that they're on. And, my grandfather, who I called my papa, like he and I were extremely close throughout my entire life. And, he, to a fault, wanted to help me and make my life better. And he loved me so much. And he just couldn't stand the thought of me going through anything painful. And so he tried, until his last days to rescue me and bail me out of situations that I would continue to get myself into.
Yeah.
And I didn't get clean right after he passed away. It took a few years, but I honestly don't know that I ever would have been able to get clean had I still had someone who was bailing me out at every turn.
It's pretty heavy right
there. Which is why, it translates into, other people we know in our community who have children and, relatives who are in addiction. And it's so hard to not help them in any way that you can, but really it's hurting them.
Yeah.
It's really hurting them because they won't stop what they're doing until they're forced.
So we call it
by means
consequences.
of not having any more resources. Like at some point, I didn't have anywhere else to go.
Right.
So I had to turn to help in egg.
Yeah.
Because everybody else was sick of my shit.
Well, and we want to believe that people change because they see the light.
Right.
But they change because they feel the heat.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't rob somebody of their experience.
Yeah.
And you can.
Right.
But what you do is you keep them trapped in this consequence-free cycle.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing, Jimmy. If you could feel the way you feel now about yourself, but not exercise, not go to work, not have a good diet, not if you could just do everything you felt like doing, but there were zero consequences, how would you live your life?
Yeah.
Right. Right. So when we rescue somebody from drug addiction,
Yeah.
we're rescuing them from the experience that will force them to change.
Yeah.
So if we really, and this is the problem with loving someone,
Yeah.
a lot of times loving someone is we think we're loving them, but what we're really doing is loving the way it feels for us
Yeah.
to not watch them suffer.
I was just thinking when you were sharing that story, I was thinking about my own kids, right? I would try to do everything I possibly could.
You would move a mountain. Yeah. And the thing is, in NA, maybe I don't know if I was supposed to say NA.
I don't know what NA is.
Okay. Well, in recovery,
Not applicable.
we're recovering addicts, alcoholics, whatever the case may be, helping each other. And we don't rescue each other. You don't get a sponsee and they need money, so you start helping them pay their bills.
Yeah,
all we do is share our experience, strength, and hope. That's all we do. Is we can't give advice. We can't
say this is what you should do or shouldn't do. All I can do is say, this is what I experienced and this is what happened. Take what you want from that.
This is what I suggest based on what happened with me, but do whatever you want.
Right.
But if you have a pipe in your hand and a lighter,
Yeah.
I ain't going to slap it out of your hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
I know I can't do it. I know that I can't. I have no idea if you can't.
Yeah.
And so allowing people to experience, like for instance, yes, you love Journey and Talent.
Yeah.
Yes, you love Journey and Talent. But let's say you found out and got CCTV footage that Journey has had a pretty hefty shoplifting habit for the last 2 years and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And she is in jail because she got busted with, Dooney and Burke. But is that a thing?
I think so.
Yeah, so was,
Bird.
now you might go get her out of jail the first time,
But yeah, we'll let her sit there.
but on the 5th time,
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
are you gonna let her do her time?
She's going to have to do it time.
Well, because you love her,
Yeah.
and you want her to learn.
Right.
Yeah. And I was thinking too, you, with the passing of you call it Papa?
Papa.
With the passing of your Papa, that probably, I don't want to say a good thing, right? Because it's not a good thing.
It was a good thing.
But a good came from it.
But good came
came.
from that. Yeah, that's good. Man.
You talk about like your father's parting gifts to you
Yeah.
a lot, and I feel like that's kind of the same
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
Well, and I was talking to Brian about this last night. So I have a different relationship with 51% of the population these days than I used to
Okay.
about 5 years ago.
How so?
I live a life of honor and integrity in areas where I used to not. And I think you know what I mean.
I don't.
That's all the information.
Yeah, I don't. So it's almost like, I don't want to say you were a fraud putting on the geek, getting on the map.
I was 100%.
But you were a fraud.
100%.
So-
Now I had areas of my life where I was honorable and admirable, but it wasn't every area.
Right.
And so my father's parting gift to me was while I leaned into his death, I believed that God cracked my exterior in that moment and allowed me to change in ways that I had never been able to change before.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why I have 3 divorces and 3 marriages. And as much as I guess it might feel better to say, well, I picked wrong. They blah, 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 blah. It wasn't them. It was me. And the thing is that I really wanted to be a different guy. I did.
Yeah.
For decades, I wanted to be a different guy. But leaning into my father's death, hard. I did not eat it away. I did not run it away. I did not run from any of that.
Yeah.
And I believe that his parting gift to me was enabled me to be the person that that God intended me to be all along.
Yeah. Because you lead right into
I did. I did. And
Jesus.
I called that it makes me wonder, my father wouldn't have been able to give me that gift had I run from his death. If I had run away because it hurt,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been there to see what I needed to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw my mother and father say their goodbyes, like something changed in me. Like something snapped and changed in me.
Yeah.
In that moment. I don't know if I knew what it was.
I don't think you.
I don't think I knew what it was that happened, but something happened. And then in the days and weeks and months that followed, I immediately began living my life differently.
Yeah.
And I have ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Well, both of you guys have.
Yeah, Nikki was front and center the whole time, that whole thing. So, yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, like for me, because I lost my old man when I was 20, but I didn't see him. The last time I saw him, I was 18.
Yeah.
He came down to Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi, Mississippi, where I was going through air traffic training. That was the last time I saw him.
And how did that go?
Man, it was, let me see. So I was down in Biloxi from November to April. So I remember the night. It was dark. I had just gone out to eat with my mom, my two sisters, my dad, and it was weird. I mean, for me, it was weird. Not for my mom, or seeing my mom and my sisters, but like now with my dad, because when I left, I was a kid. I just came out of boot camp. I just did this training. So like I was like, say something. Right. You know, I was like, you know, come.
Would you say it? So I thought you say,
yeah, like in my brain. Sure. But he apparently I like left some leftovers or whatever. So he came back on base to give them to me. And it was a handshake. It was just a handshake from my dad. And we just kind of stood there just in silence, and that was it. Maybe he kind of took off to where my mom and sister were, because they were about to move to Italy for my dad's job. So, and then, you know, I shared a story before in the podcast, like a couple years later, you know, I had a dream that my dad died, and I woke up and I was like, oh, it was just a dream. Fell asleep in the exact same dream. I was like, okay, I need to really call my dad, because my sister had just been medevaced to the States for overdose of some unknown drugs. My other sister was away in Amsterdam doing, you know, I'm sure some fun things.
The reason to go to Amsterdam.
Yeah, the reason you go to Amsterdam.
And Frank Museum.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what she was visiting. Yeah. So I had called my dad at that day, and with the time change or the time difference, he sounded like he was wasted. And so I just called him and said, hey man, I just want you to know I love you. And 3 days later he died.
Wow.
Sometimes I wonder like what my life would be like if he were still alive. You know, like, you know, like, you know, Journey of Talent, we know and knowing this stuff, and so for me, it was the weirdest thing, because when I got the call, it was a Wednesday. I was stationed at Altus Air Force Base in Oklahoma, and I had just got the call, and so I was told like, hey Jimmy, the assistant chief controller and your friend D wants to see you in the office. I was like, okay. And they're like, everything okay? Because we've had the base commander call, we've had Red Cross call, and all looking for you. I was like, or you know, calls like, oh. And I joked like, good thing they're not looking for me, you know. And so I go into the office, and that's when they told me that my dad, so I worked at the Red Cross and stuff, that my grandfather had called, blah blah blah, and my dad had died. And it was the weirdest thing, you know. I felt nothing surreal. Yeah, it felt surreal. I felt nothing. And all I wanted to do was go back, plug in, and work. Sure. That's all I did. I was like, okay. You know, sort of thing. I didn't want to process it. Sure, I'm doing it. So, I mean, it took years. Sure, of course, to process.
A lot to unpack there.
It was. Yeah. It was a lot to unpack with the abuse and everything else.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like for me, you know, that's I try to lean into my emotions more, because, I mean, Talon seeing me cry, of course, was a good thing. You know, I think, man, dude, there's some reels out there.
Yeah, we're powerless against those.
I'll see something. I'll start crying. I'll always go like this, like that one red. Tal will go, are you okay, Dad? I'm like, I don't know, man. That one with the ponies.
Yeah.
You should watch the pangolin.
Yeah, what is it? Pangolin.
The pangolins.
What are the pangolins?
Okay, so it kind of looks like an armadillo.
Little lizard, yeah.
It's like
armadillo lizard.
It's like a little cute guy, and he's just like, and then everybody's trying to kill him, and then it's really sad.
Wait, is that cartoon?
Kind of looks.
No, it's a real animal.
You know, the pangolin got blamed for COVID.
Right? I thought it was like a bat. I thought it was like someone.
No, it was pangolin.
Don't you dare look it up on that.
No, I did. I
was gonna look it up.
I want to see this pangolin.
It's the cutest little guy.
Look up a picture of it.
That's what I was going to show you.
Now you're going to look up the conspiracy theory of pangolins and COVID.
Ooh, I haven't heard this, but I would like it. I would. Yeah. What's this?
Just a little cute guy.
Come on. It came from a lab, by the way. No, come on.
No, these guys. He's like,
it looks like a little ant.
Little guy.
Man, look at that body artwork. You can't even.
So they're totally harmless.
Let me see.
What's a conspiracy?
All they can do is roll up into a ball.
So what's the? Oh, look.
That's a pangolin.
Look at everybody.
Yeah.
If you're looking on YouTube, no, we just saw me on Spotify. I don't know if you had.
Anyway, I have only seen the first few minutes of the documentary, but
Wait, so
so the wet markets in China, remember that?
Yeah.
The pangolins, they have pangolins in the wet markets because apparently in China, the flesh or whatever from their scales is used in like whatever their medicine, like some kind of medicine that they make.
Yeah.
Like Chinese medicine, something, I don't know. And so they're like they're hunted, like to the point where if they don't stop, like they're going to be gone in like 10 or 20 years completely. But the wet markets are like a breeding ground for bacteria and like diseases and stuff. And I just remember them saying like, oh yeah, it came from pangolins.
And I thought it was like a blank film was hanged at. I thought I heard the bad. I heard the bad. I didn't hear anything like a penguin.
Maybe it was a flying pangolin that did it.
Can pangolins fly?
Yes, I think so.
No, they can't.
How do you know this? How do you know this?
Their
Was it
little
a pangolin?
scales.
I'm a pangolist.
Their scales.
Oh, no, it's okay. I can feel it.
Their scales come out like this, all of them at the same time, and they
I hope you're
watching
wax on an Iron Man costume.
I hope you guys are watching this on YouTube right here with us. And Nikki flapping her wings right there. Yeah. The pangolin. Oh, man.
And on the documentary, they made a pangolarium. It was conservation place for pangolins.
Huh. I think that COVID started.
I know, of course it did. It's clearly an engineered virus. And we're going to drop this bombshell on you guys.
Go on.
Yeah. I did it.
You did what? You did what? Yeah.
He made COVID.
I have been hiding the fact that I am a Nobel laureate viralist.
Viralist.
Yep, I'm a viralist, and
You live in a virularium?
I was making COVID in my basement with old used cereal packets.
What?
I thought it came from China.
Yeah, that's probably.
I don't think that cereal comes in a packet.
Packet.
Why does it?
We escaped from a Bengali psychiatric institution, and we made this costume out of old used cereal packets.
Whatever movie you're quoting, I haven't seen it.
It is The Meaning of Life by Monty Python. Ian Roberts
Yes, I saw
and
it.
I are the only
Yep.
people that apparently that are cultured enough to understand how funny Monty Python is.
Y'all should
I
go,
like Nicholas, man. Search for the Holy Grail.
Dude!
y'all should go live in a Pythonarium.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's a funny movie.
Yeah. Monty Python is probably easily top 10.
Yes!
Top 10 movie.
Yes.
What do you think?
The Big Lebowski, Grandma's Boy,
Big Lebowski's definitely.
Office Space.
Okay.
Um,
I don't know. Zoolander? You Zoolander?
Zoolander was pretty funny.
Have you seen Walk Hard?
That's nuts.
Were you like a Step Brothers Anchorman fan? Okay, so you need to watch Walk Hard.
Walk hard.
Okay, so you know in Step Brothers, John C. Reilly.
Yes.
Okay, he's in this. He's the star, and it is a spoof of
Elvis.
Ray and Walk the Line.
Okay. I think I've seen clips of it.
Dude, it is so good. How about if I get a little crow and train it to say the things that I say when I'm here? That way it'd be like me, except it'd be a little crow talking.
Is that
That one's not as good.
I've seen a reel of that. Is that the one I've seen a reel like where he goes into like the back room or whatever and they're smoking weed?
Yeah. This is Reefa, Dewey. You don't want none of this. Well, I don't want to have a hangover. You won't get a hangover. That sounds expensive. It's the cheapest drug there is. I don't want to get addicted. It's not habit forming. I think I want to do that.
Okay, just if one's coming here. Okay. Yeah, I've seen the reel on it. I've seen it. Is this our done?
Yep, we're done.
Well, there you go,
I
Nikki.
feel like that was
A bit of a disappointment for the viewers.
Why you say that?
I don't know.
I know what will make this worth their watching. Is everybody ready?
We're gonna do that.
That's such abuse. Yep. You think the disappointing thing was pretty good?
Yeah, it was a good one.
We've had some pretty disappointing.
Yeah, no.
This is not one.
They're not all bangers.
Yeah, they're not.
I don't think this was a banger.
It felt bangy.
This
Hey, you guys go like us and subscribe to YouTube and Spotify. Bye. Oh my God.
Love you guys. Goodbye.
Good.